Louisiana grown and Louisiana proud. We get to know your favorite stars, from musicians and athletes to business owners and artists. Restoral Dental presents Homegrown, a KLFY Plus exclusive.
Welcome to another episode of Homegrown. I am so excited for today's episode. It's a familiar face to KLFY. We've met her before, Ashli Auguillard, living out in LA now, but you're back at home visiting for just a few days, and we're so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be back, girl.
We need to hear all about your journey from, I kind of titled this episode From Small Town to Stardom, because you are just becoming a star. Last time we spoke to you, you were about to air a lead role in A Very Merry Beauty Salon.
Yes.
Tia Mowry in that movie with you. How amazing was that?
Oh, that was everything. I mean, working across Tia, she's so sweet, but she feels like your best friend. Like, I felt like I was her little sister, for the whole shoot. But that was amazing, watching her as a kid, seeing her own sister. And then next thing you know, I'm like, wait, this is my co-star.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is amazing.
Crazy.
I was even a little bit starstruck whenever you came in and told me all of this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I loved that show growing up. And me and my mom watched that show and I was just like, oh my gosh, Ashli knows Tia.
Yeah,
That's just
I know.
crazy.
And I can hit her up and she gives such great advice. I'm like, this is great. Who would have thought?
That's amazing.
Never would have thought that, growing up, oh, that's going to be your co-star.
Yeah.
And y'all are going to be texting and talking. That's crazy.
That is. Well, let's go back to the beginning.
Uh-huh.
You grew up in Breaux Bridge.
Yes. Crawfish
So-
capital of the world.
Yeah. Tell me what that was like. You're one of five, is that right?
One of six.
One of six. That's right. 5 siblings. Yes, I read my notes wrong. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's
so
all good.
growing up with 5 siblings, that's a pretty big family. I mean, not for necessarily down south. A lot of people have big families, but to me, that's a big family. So what was that like growing up, 5 siblings?
Oh my gosh, being the oldest, I was like a second parent because my mom was a single mom and so much responsibility. And for some reason, the first kid is always the lab rat. So I was the eldest daughter, but also the one my mom was the most strict with.
Yeah.
I remember when I got my first B ever, it was 7th grade, either 6th or 7th grade. I'm trying to remember. My mom went to the school, had my teacher redo, look at all of her books to make sure because it was a B plus. And then she was like, oh no, we got it wrong. It was actually an A minus. You were right. Yeah.
Oh,
Forgetting my
goodness.
first B. Yeah. Meanwhile, I've had brothers who can just bring home, whatever kind of grade.
Yep.
Yep. It's a big responsibility being the oldest, but I think, I rise to it. It's a big responsibility, but it's worthwhile. And watching my siblings see, oh, look, our sister's doing this thing. This can be done, stays at the back of my mind.
And now doing what you are now, going out and starring in, having roles in so many different shows and even some lead roles now in movies. What do your siblings think about all of that?
They cheer for me, they root me on. And it's weird because y'all are my siblings, but then they act like little fans sometimes. Oh my God, Ashli does this. My youngest sister, she's 16 and she's in high school. She goes to Hollywood High, which that's a thing in itself. Oh, she's in Hollywood High. She has a different upbringing than we did.
Yeah.
She's the last one. But she's always oh yeah, my sister's on this movie and my sister's doing this. And she's oh, and my sister's friends with this person because she's on TikTok. So she knows famous TikTokers. She's oh, my sister knows her. They're best friends. Oh, and they were in a movie together. And yeah, it's crazy hearing her talk like that, knowing, we come from Breaux Bridge,
Right.
very humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And here she is in Hollywood just, oh, my sister's on TV.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it basically is you that gave your younger siblings that life, though. Is that why your family moved out?
Yeah, they
to
moved
LA?
out. They came to visit me in 2020 on one-way tickets.
Wow.
Yes, unbeknownst to me.
Surprise.
Surprise! Yeah, it was a little hectic for a little while, but I think God wanted us to be together at that time because that was the beginning of the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
But they decided to stay. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure it's fun, though, having a piece of home. Of course, you can't take all of Breaux Bridge with you out to LA, unfortunately. But it must be comforting to have some sense of home out in California.
It really is. I think it keeps me grounded. And I hang out with them all the time. I just took my niece and nephew to the fair the other day.
Oh, fun.
Checking on my mom. My sister always has some sort of performance at high school. So it's okay, it's good having them there because doing it by yourself is a lot. It can be really isolating, this career path.
Yeah. So you moved out there. Well, your family moved out there in 2020. When did you move out to LA?
2014.
2014.
Yeah,
so it's been quite a while.
Yes.
What was your start in acting? I mean, were you in acting classes or theater back home in Louisiana?
So there's this gifted program out here called GPGC. I don't know if you're familiar, the Governor's Program for Gifted Children. They do this summer program every summer at McNeese State University, and they bring gifted kids to pretty much study for the summer because that's on brand for gifted kids. But to kind of balance the academic part, there was this theater program that they do. And I booked my first role. It was Frozine in The Miser, and I just fell in love with it. I'm like, I have to be on stage. I was not like, no stage fright, no nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a performer. This is my thing.
So brains and talent.
Yep. That's
You
why I
got
double
it all.
majored in college, theater and biological sciences. I'm like, I'm going to be a doctor or
an
An actress.
And you picked actress, we see.
Clearly.
Well, we're going to dive deeper into that and what you've been up to and hear about all your amazing accomplishments. We're so proud of you here back home, but we'll be right back after this break.
Homegrown is sponsored by Restoral Dental, making the best dentures in Lafayette. Restoral Dental.
Welcome back to Homegrown. We are continuing our chat with actress Ashli Auguillard, native of Brobridge, Louisiana, but making it out in LA now. We ended our last segment talking about growing up in Brobridge, what that was like, how you got your start in acting or realized that you had that talent. And that was a cool story. You were at a summer camp of all places.
Yes.
But you've been in LA since 2014 now. What was your first paid acting gig?
Oh my gosh. First paid acting gig, I believe that was The Purge for USA Network.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the movie?
The show.
The show.
Yeah, they did a show, like a
Okay.
spin-off version from The Purge.
Okay.
Same people, same concept, but it was a show. Yeah, and it actually shot in New Orleans. So that was the first time I had actually flown back.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty, I would say that was a full circle moment because being in Louisiana, I was only doing like stand-ins and commercials. And like I was always the Popeyes lady's shoulder and no one knew like, that's my shoulder.
Yeah.
No other opportunities were coming and it seemed all the leads kept being flown in from LA. And then I was like, I need to get that training. Yeah. Whatever's out there, whatever training that is, because clearly why would production pay more money to bring someone here if there's all this talent here? There's something there. Yeah. And then I went there and then booking The Purge was the first time. It's like, oh, I'm that LA talent now that's being flown back in. So I'm like, okay, we're doing something.
That is really neat. So you were in kind of as like an extra in other projects
Like
before
stand-ins.
moving to
Yeah, I did a lot of stand-in work with commercials. And, I asked my agent at the time, hey, is there more of this? Because this is what I do. Like, background is theater and I want to act. I don't want to just, do commercials. But it seemed like that's all that was coming in. And I was like, yeah, this can't be life. This cannot be it.
You knew there was something more out there and you went and you found it.
Yeah.
You did.
Absolutely. Because, with college programs, because I double majored, like I told you before, and theater programs, it's like they're not really preparing you for film and TV. So that training that I really needed, that conservatory training, I needed to move. Yeah. And that's what I went to LA for. Went to the Baron Brown studio for 2 years. They have so much alum, Halle Berry, Mariska Hargitay, Tom Hanks. They have so many people. And Halle actually spoke at my graduation, which is crazy when I graduated from the conservatory in 2016. Wow. But yeah, it's like full circle. That was my first one. Yeah, that was the first, not only paid gig, but flew me back to my hometown, or home state, because New Orleans isn't my hometown. But yeah.
What a cool memory to have.
Yeah.
And since then, that's been a while, and you've held so many other amazing roles since then. What has been your favorite?
Oh my gosh, favorite is so tricky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so tricky. I love them all.
Putting you on the spot a little bit.
Just a little bit. But you know what? I'll answer. I think different ones are favorites for different reasons, but I really love action. You know, I can shoot some guns. I'm a wire fighter. I can do flips in the air. I really like hands-on, like adrenaline pumping type things. So doing The Rookie on ABC, and I also did The Rookie Feds, the spinoff. My character also went on Rookie Feds. That was everything. I'm just shooting this, this automatic rifle. I'm the bad guy. I'm robbing banks and also like breaking out of the hospital. It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But that really did it for me. Like, it felt really fulfilling doing something very action-oriented. Yeah.
That's fun. The Rookie is on my list. I'm so bad at completing series, so I had to start making myself a list. And I'm like, I cannot start this next series until I finish this one. So right now I have to finish Gilmore Girls, and then I have The Rookie on my list as well. But I wasn't aware that you were in there. I have a bunch of them listed. Oh wait, I do have The Rookie listed on here, and I have you were in Grey's Anatomy, Matlock. And then those movies that we talked about, Beach House Murder and a very merry beauty salon. But recently, you locked in your biggest role yet. Tell us about it.
So I am a recurring character. I joined the cast of The Neighborhood. And oh my gosh, it's been everything. I'm working with heavy hitters. I keep getting blessed to work with people that I grew up watching. Like Tashina Arnold, Cedric the Entertainer, Max Greenfield. Like, it's kind of unbelievable. It's like it keeps happening and I forget that, oh my gosh, like, do you not realize? Because I don't get starstruck the same, you know, because I don't know, it's something about being from Louisiana. I feel like down here we have this thing where you got to just be a good person. It doesn't matter, oh, if your parents are this or if you have this much money. I feel like we're really grounded here, like in my opinion. And I feel like we don't really like care if you have all this stuff going on. So I'm not really that starstruck. But sometimes I forget. I'm like, oh my God, you grew up. You were like 7 years old watching this, and this is a legend. Freaking Cedric the Entertainer, Tashina Arnold from Martin. Like, this is Pam, girl, and you're on set chilling, kicking it, and it's like, wow, it's like you're really living in your dream. And I have to keep reminding myself, because in this pursuit, it's always about the next thing. You're auditioning for the next thing, and you know, you're waiting to get that series regular, that major role where you can just like go shoot something for 6 months and now you're like a star, and it looks like it was overnight, even though you've been in LA for like over a decade and everyone thinks it's overnight. Where'd she come from? Right. But it's like you're always into the next thing. You forget, wow, you're living in your dream right now. And how much of a blessing it is to like work in a sitcom. It's also my first multicam sitcom. Okay. Because Curb Your Enthusiasm, even though there's a lot of improv and it's funny, that was single cam. So this was my first like live audience, people like laughing in between the jokes. It was everything. Yeah.
It's amazing though that you're able to keep that humility and stay humble even through all of this, and that you actually have to remind yourself and be like, oh wait, no, this is a really big deal what I'm doing right now. Because I was actually going to ask you that, do you ever get starstruck? But I guess you're kind of really good at just kind of treating people like people.
Yeah. And I think especially when you train, I feel like there's a pride that you have in the work that you do that reassures you, I belong here. Like, I've worked to be in the spaces that I'm in, and I'm extremely talented. So it's not like, oh my God, you know, I'm just like lucky. There's a lot of work behind it. You know, there's luck, there's, you know, God's blessings and favor and all that, but it's a lot of work and persistence and rejection that you deal with. So when you're finally across from someone and you're in that situation working across an A-lister, it's like, I deserve to be here. And you can appreciate the fact that, wow, this is amazing. How blessed am I to work across this person? But you feel like you belong there. It doesn't feel like it was like like charity or someone like gave you this thing. Yeah.
And we are about to have to go to break, but I am curious just what do you think? I'm sure you don't know exact numbers, but how many auditions do you think you have to do before you land a role?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Because it's got to be way more than people think.
It's more than people think, but I think it varies because I have unique things like...
You can do accents, I've heard.
I do a lot of dialect work, but I don't know. I don't think there's like a definitive answer, because you could have someone who does 2 auditions and boom, they'll book a series regular. Like, you hear these stories sometimes. Most often that's not the case.
Right.
But honestly, I don't know how many. I don't know how many. It's different for each person.
And you just keep pushing through.
Got to.
Yeah.
The only way is ahead.
That's true. All right, Ashley, we'll be right back with more after this. Welcome back to Homegrown with Ashli Auguillard from Brobridge. Ashley, before the break, you were telling us that every actor is different as far as when they sort of have their big break in their career. You've been in LA since 2014, and I feel like you've had constant, steady progression, kind of getting up there. You're in your biggest role yet in The Neighborhood. What has kept you going through all of that?
I would say God for sure, because my faith, I'm very deep in my faith. And I thank my family for that, you know, instilling that at a really young age. I feel like I went to a million different churches coming up, so I can't stray too far off. But family, my mom, especially my mom, I would say. I'm a lot like my mom, and my mom's a very persistent person, a very hardworking person. And she always kept me in extracurriculars coming up. Like I told you, I was in the governor's program. You're doing this. You're doing drama club. You're doing math club. She always kept me in something. And that just instilled in me that, oh, I can do things. I'm competitive at things. I'm good at things. So even when our living situations weren't ideal, it's like I never lost, you know, that I have promised that I will do something in the future, especially academically. I think that's really important for kids to know that, oh, if you're academically competitive, her keeping me in these programs, it's like, oh, you're making these grades, you're always testing here, you're at this top of your class and this and that. That makes you kind of believe in yourself, you know?
Yeah. So you have obviously lots of experience, and we want to know your kind of advice to other people, because we do hear, we were talking about this before we got started. I mean, Sky Isaac is out in LA now. Taz Sam is out in LA.
Sky and Taz. I love them so much. Oh my gosh.
And so there are people that come from small towns that do such amazing things, and we can get inspiration from you guys. What do you want to tell kids from maybe from right here in Acadiana who might think that their dreams are too big?
Oh, your dreams are never too big, but really believe in putting in the work. I think that's the most important thing, and I think that's something that I represent. You know, not taking shortcuts, because I feel like right now we're living in a time where obviously social media is crazy, and you're seeing people change their lives with influencing or doing these different things, which nothing's wrong with influencing, but you see a lot of people really want to be in television. Like, kids really want to be in film and television. And when you're in a local market like this, there's a lot of gimmicks. There's a lot of, you know, companies that come and say, oh, come to our casting call, come to New Orleans for this. And those aren't viable pathways into the industry. Like, you really need to go and train. And for the time being, we don't really have conservatories in Louisiana that are like, oh, this is Meisner, you know, this type of really grounded foundational training that it takes to compete in film and TV, especially with how competitive it is right now. So it's like, believe in yourself, bank on yourself, and always bet on yourself. But go where the training is. Go and train, put in the work, because LA seems intimidating. People say that all the time. You moved to LA before you had any credits instead of like establishing yourself here first. It's like, there's a lot of people, but a lot of people are not really putting in the work, I would say. So once you get there, you start seeing the same people. Oh, another 5 years pass. You're seeing the same people. Other people are pivoting. People aren't really taking it seriously. So as long as you're willing to put in the work, it can definitely happen.
What does that training look like? What's a typical week or a day like for you?
So the training's different now because I'm doing more auditioning, and I still coach from time to time. I'm not in a conservatory anymore, but doing conservatory work, I would say I was there twice a week for 8 hours, but then you're doing a lot of the work at home as well. So you're constantly in it, and it's just making you evolve so much as an artist. And girl, the audition process, that's a whole nother thing. Like, on the outside in, it looks really linear, right? It's like, oh, she's booked this and she books that. But sometimes it's a long pause in between, and people just don't see that. It kind of looks like, oh, you're just working all the time. It's like, no, there are big pauses in between these bookings and lots of rejection. Half the time we put out tapes and we get zero feedback. It could be the best work of your life, and they may love it, but they'll tell you nothing. So you're just kind of in the dark until you get a yes most times.
What's that process? You send a tape first and then get invited to come and do an in-person audition?
No, you get that in person? Girl, that almost doesn't even exist.
That doesn't happen?
Now, funny enough, for the neighborhood, that was an in-person audition.
Okay.
Which was crazy because I wasn't even feeling like that confident, because the character is like, ooh, she's this hot nanny. And I had just came from New York and I'd eaten so much food. I was not in my best shape. But we still
I'm not a hot nanny right now.
I'm so not a hot nanny right now. But most times it's all tape. And you're booking off of tape. It might be that one tape that gets you the role, because the competition is so crazy. What we're submitting as first tapes is like going to producers, and they're like, yes, we'll book you off of that. So you're almost never in person. Like, I would say 5% of my auditions are in person. Okay. Yeah. You're by yourself all the time. It's very isolating.
And whenever you're performing a dialogue by yourself, do you just, I mean, are you ever having to like pretend you're talking to someone? I'm sure all the time.
Well,
like,
you have a reader.
How do you?
You always film with a reader. Someone's always across from you, but
Okay.
everything else you're making up, just pretending this is there, and
Okay. Do you ad lib for auditions, or you're always given a
never
script? Never ad lib. Okay.
Never ad libbing. It's you're in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you're doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's really mentally draining. I would say it starts to mess with you after a while because you're doing this work, but you're sending it off. So sometimes you feel like, is this even a viable opportunity? Or you'll find out through interviews of like some A-listers that, that person already had the offer for the role, and that maybe they were auditioning for some, backups, but that person already had the offer.
Yeah.
And you didn't know. And you may have spent like $300 to coach for it, not knowing someone already has an offer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough out here.
And, a lot of people, like you said, sort of just don't put in that work and kind of essentially drop out of the fight to make it to the top. And I feel like that has to be a big part of it, is the rejection.
Yeah.
But
And
then
being
people
willing,
like you just push through it, and you're like, nope, that's not going to put me down.
got to push through. Some people come in, I'm like, okay, I have a 4-year plan for LA. If this doesn't happen, I'm moving back. I've had so many other friends from here move to LA and then come back here within a year. I'm like, you got to give yourself more time than that.
Yeah.
You really got to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't give up that quickly.
All right, we have more to come with Ashli Auguillard right after this break. Welcome back. Finishing up our chat with Ashli. Unfortunately, only a few minutes left. We left off just talking about the industry itself, the acting industry, and how hard you've worked. And I again want to say that we're so happy to have you here and so proud of what you're doing, or at least I am. And hearing about all of your work. Whenever your little PR person emails me, I get so excited. I'm like, yes, let's have Ashli back. We need her back again. But before we go, let's hear about you, Ashli, behind the scenes.
Oh.
What does Ashli? I know Ashli likes ASMR videos.
Love ASMR. Hello, how are you doing? I love ASMR
What
videos.
else does Ashli like?
I'm a screenwriter. So
Okay.
right now I'm pre-producing a short that we're going to shoot next month. It's called The Happiest Hour. But I'm really ready to start getting into my filmmaker bag. I want to start producing and directing my own projects and my own scripts. Hopefully, speaking to the universe, because there are some conversations happening to hopefully make this happen with Lifetime. But I want to shoot a feature film here to be able to cast locals. That would be great. It's something fresh and original that they haven't seen before. That kind of does involve crawfish, but that's the most that I'll say. I hope we do that. But yeah, that's what I want to do in the near future. Just start producing more of my projects. It's really fun to act. Really want to get a series regular on a solid show. We're up for a couple right now, so fingers crossed that goes through. But yeah, I'm just ready to start my production company and really step into the role, take it to the next level where I can really be influential and make a difference here. Because that's where the real influence is, executive producing these projects. That's when you can hire people, and that's when you can put other people in position, and that's what I really want to do.
So would you say that's your biggest career goal, or do you have a dream role for yourself?
I have dream roles for myself for sure, but my dream roles are also things that I've written. So it kind of ties into that career goal of, let's just become this major filmmaker. You'll be, I won't say the next Spielberg, but like the first Auguillard. And really create opportunities and show people, especially from here, from Lafayette, Acadiana, Breaux Bridge, like a viable pathway into film and television.
Yeah. And people are going to know that name, Auguillard, because we were talking about this. I mean, these French names that we have down here, if they don't know you by Auguillard, they'll know you by Ashli with an I.
Yes.
That's the nickname.
Or a new name for when I get married. I'm single.
I know. So, look, you single men watching, come on, step it up. Step it up,
Get
buddy.
it together, okay?
Put a ring on it and make her move back home and start her business and shoot movies here in Lafayette. But no, we're so happy to have you, and so happy that you're out there doing what you love. Before we go, one last question. I think that's all we have time for. But just to end on like a really positive, happy note, what is your favorite part of your job?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I know that's a hard question.
That's
I don't even know
hard.
if I'd be able to answer that.
Favorite part, just being able to play other characters. I love imagination. I've done that since I was a kid. It was like an escape because, living situations weren't ideal. We went from place to place, eviction from eviction. We've even lived in homeless shelters here. You guys, I think there's some Home for the Holidays program. We were in that. Our family was homeless and we were gifted a trailer one Christmas out here.
Wow.
So it's like acting was kind of like, oh, you can escape and be something else. And I think that's always my favorite part of it. Being somewhere else, like kind of transporting. It's kind of like a superpower without being literally a superpower.
Yeah. And I know you said you love the action roles.
Yes. Oh, please give me something shooting, kicking, fighting right now. My gosh.
I know I really need to watch The Rookie. I need to see you in that show.
Oh, there's a lot of action in there. I'm shooting up the place.
I cannot wait. Okay, Ashley, we've enjoyed visiting with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. This has been a treat.
Ashli Auguillard, making it out in LA from small town to stardom, like we've said. Thanks for joining us.
Homegrown is sponsored by Restoral Dental, making the best dentures in Lafayette. Restoral Dental.